The person who sets it up is actually called the settlor. Now, there's three things to remember there. One, they must not be a beneficiary of the trust because that will invalidate the trust. They must not witness any of the signatories to the trust. And when you set the trust up, there's a nominal $10 or $20 that must be a gift or a donation. It cannot be invoiced for. There was a case back in 1975 where the accountant put the, so much for the setup of the trust and $20 for the settlement funds. Well, that actually invalidated the trust, and the trustee in bankruptcy took the $1.5 million farm. Now, back in 1975, that was a lot of money. And, the whole trust was rendered invalid. So that's all you have to remember there. And then the other important position is the appointer. Now, this is the real control position. And in a normal family trust, which is a type of discretionary trust, mum and dad would be the directors of the corporate trustee, mum and dad would be the primary beneficiaries, and mum and dad would actually be the appointers of the trust. This is where you will have the most asset protections. This is probably what you're going to be using for most of your property purchases in the future. There's another type of trust I want to quickly tell you about, even though I don't think you'll use it very much. It's called a unit trust. It's treated like a company for capital gains tax purposes. It's a fixed trust, so they pay double capital gains tax, which is mainly why you don't use it. But the big mistake that investors make is that they own the units in their own name. This is as good as useless to you. You must own the units in that kind of discretionary trust or family trust that we talked about before, because if you don't, the whole thing's as good as useless, and you may as well not have had the thing in the first place. Not something that I use a lot, but it does have its place. I just need you to understand it. And then there's another type of trust where accountants and lawyers got together and formed this trust called a hybrid trust. Now, a hybrid trust is basically a mixture of a discretionary trust as well as a unit trust. It gets around all of the capital gains tax details and difficulties that you've got there. I use them for businesses, but I don't like them for ownership of property. And the reason for that is that only two banks will lend to a hybrid trust, where every bank lends to a discretionary trust if you know what you're doing. And there is a major tax alert out on them because people are trying to negatively gear through hybrid trusts. And the tax office is actually looking for a case to take all the way through to the High Court, and you don't want to be that test case.